So here's another example of like me being led to things that kind of like give me messages and things to think about. So I'm actually attempting to do actual work, and I'm working on page layout work for it's like a church tract thing. And I needed to check the wording of Psalm 113:3. So I go to look that up, and I just feel like, you know what, let me go look at the whole chapter and not that just that verse. And like the chapter's like talking about praise the Lord, praise the servants of the Lord, blah 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 blah. Keep talking about the Lord, and the Lord's name is to be praised. And I'm like, okay, but what's his name? Like, what name do you use for him? Because everybody seems to have a different name, and like I don't really know which one, which one to use. For like I mean, he's given me like many names, but like what name do most people use? Because I mean, like there's some of my stuff he's given me Jehovah, but if you go back to I think it's just because it's easy to say, sounds good too, but the whole Yahweh, the YHWH, so like I'm going back to that because it's like the Hebrew way of saying it. I assume that was what was revealed to like Moses, I think, something like that. Anyways, literally just read all about this. Half of it's evaporated from my brain, but the important part is it led me to some YouTube videos on how to say this name. So, Yahweh. I'm probably still saying it wrong. But I'm just sitting here staring at the screen with the YHWH, wondering what the fuck it means and stuff. And like all of a sudden, like the thing that comes to my head is, you have withstood hell. And then I'm like, then I totally go to Google and I'm like, okay, let me just double check what the meaning of withstood is. Um, to, and actually, I'm gonna look up the definition of hell too. Remain undamaged or unaffected by. So I feel like it's like, I don't know that that's like the actual meaning or whatever, but it's like, it's really fun and cool how these like associations and messages and stuff come up. And it's not like I was actually trying to think like what could these letters stand for, or maybe like there was part of me that was like a little bit like, I feel like I asked that question and then immediately that message is put in my head. um Hell, a place regarded in various religions as a spiritual realm of evil and suffering, often traditionally depicted as a place of perpetual blah 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 blah. Anyways, I know earlier tonight I saw someone say that hell is just like when you're really depressed or unhappy or something. I don't know. Like there is some truth in that, but I don't know that that is like 100% accurate, at least the way they described it. But I do kind of lean towards heaven and hell being states of being, like states of being, perceiving, that sort of thing. But yeah, so the whole like, like God's name, Yahweh, you have withstood hell. It's like, so now the thing is, okay, is that kind of like, does God, or is God name basically means, does it mean like one who has withstood hell? Or is that a message talking to me like, I've been there, I've gotten through it, that sort of thing. I'm curious about that because I get a lot of messages telling me that they don't want me to suffer anymore. They want all my dreams to come true and like happiness and blah, 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 blah. And I will say, like, the past year has been incredibly fantastic. But like a little earlier, was chatting with a spiritual friend in order to help another spiritual friend or whatever. And he's talking about how, like, his guides and stuff, like, communication is often really like negative with them. They use like negative means to like motivate and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that's not my experience at all. Like mine is very positive, very nurturing, and all of that kind of stuff. But like spirit guides, all that kind of stuff, they generally communicate with us in the way that we're most comfortable and in the way that would most suit us. So if you're someone that's going to respond better, some people respond better to like positive praise, some people respond better to negativity, a little bit of fear, maybe, and some people, sort of in the middle or something else. Like it's like I respond best to positivity, but I also respond best to like pressure and like deadlines and stuff, like making me feel like, yeah, like that pressure of time. So I don't know. All this is pretty interesting. So, anyways, how are you guided to things? Feel free to share in the comments or make a video and tag me, that sort of thing. Peace.